Welcome back to the Galley of the Sun. It's December and we're starting to think holiday. You've seen Mike do some of his favorite holiday dishes so far, but as usual here at the Galley, the big meals, that main course, is usually my ball of wax. And today we're hitting the big one. No matter what your holiday family meal is, whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Yule, here at the Galley, we go big, and that is a standing rib roast. Mike and I got into a philosophical discussion this morning, or almost an argument, about is it a prime rib? Is it a standing rib roast? What's the difference? How do you tell? Well, let's talk about it first. Let me grab that piece of meat and we'll talk. Okay, so here is our standing rib roast. So the standing rib roast or prime rib roast is cut from the primal rib cut of the cow.
Moo.
That cut goes from the 6th to the 12th rib, so it could be up to 7 ribs long, and it's cut from up high on the back of the cow. That muscle, it's not used much. It's typically very tender, has a lot of intermuscular fat, so it's very, very tender, very, very juicy. Whether the grade of the beef is either choice or prime or even select, what makes it a prime rib roast is where it's cut from. So it's cut, right, not grade, that makes it a prime rib roast. This is a choice prime rib roast or standing rib roast. Right? They mean the exact same thing. What I did for this roast is a couple of days ago, I dry brined it, just like I did in the tomahawk rib roast, which you can check out up here. Right? So I dry brined it, let it rest for 2 days, pulled it out. I've got it up, it's been sitting out, get up to room temperature, because what we want to do is we want to cook this very, very slowly. Right? So we're going to actually smoke this. We're going to get it out on the smoker. The smoker is not even going to be lit. We're going to light it. We're going to let it come up to 250 degrees very slowly. And then we're going to cook it until the internal temperature hits 118. Then we're going to pull it off and we'll go on from there and I'll explain more. But first we have to finish prepping. So, as always, so we know I don't like getting my hands messy, we're going to use a little bit of neutral oil, avocado, and one of our favorite rubs, which is the Cattleman's Trail Dust. This is a great all-purpose rub. It's salt, pepper, garlic, onion, a little bit of thyme. Yeah, just a great all-around flavor, and it's perfect for a standing rib roast. So, light coating of avocado oil. Those that have watched some of my videos know that I love using avocado oil. It's very neutral, leaves no taste whatsoever. It's great as a binder, and it has such a high smoking point. We like to use it in our air fryers and as a binder on meat. So, all right, that's a good light coating, just like a brisket or those tomahawk steaks. Big piece of meat can take a lot of seasoning, so want to get a good coat on all sides of this roast. Now, if you wanted to dry brine this for longer, you could dry brine it for a week, 5 days. The longer you dry brine it in the refrigerator, it's going to lose a little bit of weight, but it's definitely going to intensify the flavor. That's not considered dry aging. You've seen our video on dry aging, that it uses a very specific temperature and humidity control. This is just dry brining. Okay, that looks good. Let's get it on the back side here. I'm going to coat all sides. That looks great. Let's go on out to the pit. Okay, we're smoking today on the Yoder's YS640 pellet grill. As I said, The smoker's cold. That's how we want it. We want it to come up to temperature with the roast in there. We're going to leave it on the grate with the pan below it because we want to catch those drippings for a surprise a little bit later on. So pull that rack out. Put that roast on the far side. As I said, we're smoking today at 250 degrees. I'm using a competition blend of pellets, and we're going to smoke until an internal temperature of 118 degrees, and then we're going to pull it off, let it rest, and we'll catch up there. All right, we'll see you in a little while. The standing rib roast, prime rib roast, we've already talked about that, is at 118 degrees based on my TAPIQ remote thermometer. We're gonna pull this off this rack, transfer it over so we can get to these drippings so that we can now make a Yorkshire pudding. Let's do it. Don't need that probe anymore. Set it over here. We're gonna lightly tent it for about 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, we will take this back out to the smoker at 450 and give it a good sear. But for now, let's work on that Yorkshire pudding. I'm gonna get all the drippings. We're gonna collect all the drippings from that roast. It's gonna provide a ton of flavor and make that Yorkshire pudding taste fantastic. I've got 4 large eggs, 2 cups of whole milk, and about 2 cups or 240 grams of all-purpose flour. We're going to take these with 2 tablespoons of the drippings, and we'll compensate if we don't have enough drippings with good olive oil. Put it in, get it in the blender, blend it smooth. I've got a cast iron skillet preheating in the oven at 400. Said 4 large eggs, 2 cups of whole milk, 240 grams of AP flour. Real magic here, 2 tablespoons of these drippings. Excellent. Now we'll pull that preheated cast iron skillet out. We'll get it greased with about 2 tablespoons of oil. Make sure the oil gets all the way around the edges. We'll put the Yorkshire pudding batter in, put it back in the oven for 30 minutes. If you have more than 2 tablespoons of drippings, use the rest of your drippings into the pan. If not, like myself here, use good olive oil, spread it all the way around, get it up the sides as much as possible. There we go. Take that batter. Pour it in, be careful, don't splash. That oil you just put in there is super hot now. And into a 400 degree oven for 30 minutes. All right, 30 minutes, we'll pull that out and take a look at it. I wanna say that this is an Alton Brown recipe, and I'd never had Yorkshire pudding before, but it sounded so great. And when he did it, it looked fantastic. I think he's one of my favorite professional chefs, celebrity chefs, whatever you want to call them. So thanks out to him. We'll see you in 30 minutes. It's been 30 minutes. Let's get that Yorkshire pudding out of the oven. Take a look. Boy, that looks good. We'll give that a try once the roast is done. So the roast, we took up to 118 degrees internal. It's fully cooked. It's fully rested. We're going to sear it at 450 on the Yoder, bring it in, and then we can immediately cut it because it's already rested. The juices have already flowed back into the meat. So take it out there, sear it, and then we'll be right back. Okay, we seared each side at 450 on the smoker. Got a little char on each side, give some texture. As I said before, it was already fully cooked. It rested. It's ready to carve as we sit right now. So let's get the cutting board out. Got my carving knife. We're ready to go. You're going to want to have a cutting board with a nice channel around it to catch those juices. So take it, separate the bones first. Just take that knife, follow right along the bones. Separate those so people can gnaw on them.
Yum, 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 yum. Okay, so right here, there's this nice big hunk of fat. We'll just trim that right off.
No.
All right, not going to get rid of it. Oh, that actually had a nice bit of meat on it. We're going to go ahead and keep that. Give it a try right here. Wow, the juice is coming off that. So tender, cooked to perfection. Let's get somebody else in here to try this, and with a piece of Yorkshire pudding.
It's lazy Sunday here. Oh, outstanding.
So around here, we always cut this up and like give out tasting pieces to everybody who's here.
Well, you're doing your holiday meal. All right, make sure you get a nice thick cut for everyone. Don't skimp on it. Perfection. Yorkshire pudding, such an interesting texture with the browning on the top and bottom, using that cast iron skillet. It's very smooth in the middle since we blended that batter fully. Definitely got to give both of these a try. If you like this, give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment, let us know what meal you cook for your holiday dinner. Hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell so that you get notified every time we put out a new video. Until next time, we'll see you at the Galley of the Sun.